Hey y'all, okay, I needed to record a quick update video. It's so many dreams that I need to get out, but I've been struggling, you guys, so please keep me in your prayers. I've been dealing with a lot of spiritual warfare, but God has been talking about so much, so I just want to share what he's been putting on my heart lately because it's a lot. He's been bringing up 3 dreams recently, 3 dreams that I've had. Okay, let me just start here. So he was showing me that some of y'all are dealing with spiritual warfare, and this spiritual warfare may look different than spiritual warfare you've experienced in the past, or it's a heightened level to where you are battling with your feelings, your emotions, and your fears with some of the things that he has promised you. Okay. For example, I'm just going to use myself for example. I have to be transparent to better explain this. So for instance, with me, one of my areas I struggle with is kingdom marriage. Okay, that's a sensitive area for me, and so I was really battling fear, really strong and heavy in that area, and God had to show me something there. He showed me what the enemy was doing. So, you know, I've been through a lot. A lot of us have been through a lot. So let me just say that. But because of some of the things I've been through, even though, I want kingdom marriage, even though I want a lot of the things God has promised me and he has for me, certain things I experience a fear with because of what I've been through in my past. And I had a strong attack of that last night to where I wanted to literally run the opposite direction. I didn't want to run away from God. I just want to run away from the person, because of what I've experienced. Right. And some of y'all may be experiencing that. The enemy is tempting you with fear, or tempting you with doubts, or tempting you with just different things that he wants you to run. He wants you to run. Okay. And what God showed y'all, I've been in my wilderness for a while. So he was bringing up times I was being tested and I didn't even know I was being tested. And every time I got to this part of it, I would run. Every time I had this overwhelming feeling of anxiety, of fear, of this person, or, history repeating itself, me going through some of the same things I promised myself I would never allow myself to go through again. Every time I get to that part and that heavy fear, I would always run. And I would end up going back and talking to somebody from my past, or, entertaining a new relationship that God did not give me permission to entertain. This is something I've done. So God showed me this is not the first time the enemy has done this to me. Some of y'all are experiencing this to where you're being tempted to go backwards because of the fear you're battling, or whatever fear, anxiety, whatever you want to call it. But this is a tactic from the enemy. So if you're feeling overwhelmed in your emotions and your feelings and your concerns, you're concerned about some things. Some of y'all are genuinely concerned. And if you're used to having to protect yourself, right? I'm used to having to protect myself. I use myself as an example just to better relate. If you're used to having to protect yourself, God pointed out as well that you're going to have to learn how to trust him. You're learning how to trust God. Okay? And that's what you're basically doing. You're learning how to trust him. You're learning how to lean on him, how to rest in him. I'm gonna have to make multiple videos probably. This was supposed to be an update of the things he's been talking about. So that was the first thing. He brought up the dream about pride comes before the fall. They will be brought low, and God is looking at your heart. So on my TikTok page, I pinned 3 parts of that dream at the top, because those 3 areas he was talking about strongly. If this is for you, if you feel led to, go back and look at that dream, right? I pinned like three parts of it. Some of y'all are struggling with your heart. Some of y'all are struggling with pride. He brought that up. Some of y'all are literally in that season right now where you're struggling with your pride. You're struggling with your feelings. You're struggling with your emotions. God, some of these people that God is bringing back, or some of the things that you're facing, you're like, I've been through this before. I'm not going through this again. And you're wrestling with your emotions and your feelings, whoever this is for, okay? And then whatever things may look opposite, right? The situation, the person, whatever may look the opposite of what God told you to expect. So you're seeing this as well, which does not help with the current feelings that you're struggling with. But again, this is the enemy. This is a tactic from the enemy, bringing up old stuff. He wants you to be afraid because he wants you to run. Okay. You see, he's aware that God is moving. He knows it's just a matter of time. He knows it's basically already done. But if he could get you to run, if he can get you to self-sabotage, then you know that's his plan. That's his goal. So if this is for you, listen to that dream, or at least the end of that dream, because God is working on your heart, and he wants you to trust him with your heart and let him in the driver's seat of your heart. And he wants you to know that he has nothing but good things in store for you. So no matter what it looks like, no matter what you've been through, trust that moving forward, following God, that your heart is in safe hands. You don't have to protect yourself anymore like that. Yes, use wisdom from what you've learned. But if God is leading you somewhere, even if it looks scary, trust him. Trust him with your heart. Trust him with your life. No one loves you like he does. No one is going to protect you like he will. Okay? So that was that part. Another thing God has been bringing up, and you know what? I'm going to do a separate video on that. Okay? Y'all, so, because this is longer than I expected it to be. So, but y'all, if you're dealing with your feelings and emotions, look back at that dream about pride comes before the fall. They will be brought low. God is looking at your heart. Hearts are being tested right now. Okay. Hearts are being tested. The enemy is probably messing with you, with your feelings and your emotions. Okay. And something I had to do that helped me was spending intimate time with God. And again, in that dream, what helped me let God in the driver's seat of my heart was when was intimacy. Right? It was intimacy that allowed him to be in the driver's seat of my heart. Okay. So for me, when I was overwhelmed with that, first of all, I acknowledged how I felt. Right? I acknowledged how I felt, which is something I don't always do, y'all. I hold back my feelings a lot. So I allowed myself to feel, because the things I've been through really did happen to me, and it really did hurt. And I allowed myself to feel what I felt and acknowledge what I felt. And I allowed myself to cry, and I allowed myself, you know, like I said, just to feel whatever. After that, I spent time with God. This is how I feel. This is how, you know, this hurt me. These are my concerns, Dad. This is what I'm worried about. I don't want to do this. I don't want to go through this again. You know, and so I was just telling him all my concerns, and I sat with him in his presence. And that calmed me, and that helped me get back on track. Right? So anyways, if you're experiencing any of this, look at that dream again and spend time with God. Spend time with God. It is spiritual warfare. It's the enemy doing the most right now, because y'all, the year of 2024 is the year of things coming full circle. Everything, good and bad, the prophecies, you know, from the words that God has been giving people to release, you're going to start seeing them one by one in the year of 2024. Good and bad, good and bad. The year 2024 is the year full circle. Okay, but anyways, y'all, I love y'all. Y'all be blessed, and check out that dream. Check out that dream again, even if you listened to it before, because God brought it up. All right, I love y'all. Y'all be blessed.